Hi-ho, pre-algebra students, Mr. Kermit the Frog here, and I'm planning on teaching Mr. Lawrence's lesson today. Before we get started, he wanted to let you know that he is planning on being at conferences tonight. He apologizes that there won't be any help after school today because he's resting and taking it easy. You see, he actually spent a little bit of time in the hospital since he saw you last. But he's doing okay, and he expects to be back in the classroom tomorrow. So he asked me to step in and take over the show. So, hopefully you have your notebooks out, pens ready to go, and you're going to do some problems for practice. Once the video is over, then you can go ahead and get started on the homework. So, without further ado, here is Mr. Lawrence's pre-algebra lesson. All right, we are solving equations. And if you remember on Monday, Mr. Lawrence said to go ahead and try to do equations with variables on both sides. And if you recall, Logan, Mr. Lawrence briefed me very well. Logan was having trouble with a problem like this because she didn't like that there were x's on both sides of the equation. So Mr. Lawrence suggested do what you know how to do. And most people decided to do something like this. Remember, if you try to subtract 7 from one side of the equation, you have to subtract 7 from the other. And so then we ended up with 4x equals 3x minus 12. Of course, that doesn't solve the problem because Logan's still wondering about the x's on both sides. Mr. Lawrence suggested that one of the x terms was bothering her, and she agreed. He said, why don't we just take away one of the x terms? Notice, I take away 3x from both sides of the equation, not from just one of them. I don't know if I can keep this Kermit voice up any longer. It is getting tough to sustain, especially when I'm not singing the Rainbow Connection. Anyway, 4x minus 3x is x. These x's cancel, just like the 7's cancel, and I'm left with a negative 12. And look at that. I've solved my equation. Let's try another one. Here we have negative 2x plus 8 equals 3x minus 5. Well, let's do something we know how to do first. Let's go ahead and subtract 8 from both sides. My new equation will be negative 2x equals, because the 8's cancel, 3x minus 13. I'm going to take one of the x terms away. Now I'm not going to take this one away because it'll create an extra step. I'm actually going to go ahead and take the 3x away. I could take the other one away, but like I said, it will create an extra step. So I'm going to negative 5x, which is going to equal negative 13. Now I can get the x alone by dividing by negative 5. Divide by negative 5. X could equal 13 fifths. Or you could have given me 2 and 3/5 as an answer. There you go. Pretty simple stuff. All right, let's scroll on down here. Okay, Kermit, thank you. Mr. Lawrence feels okay now, and he's going to go ahead and show a new type of problem. We have 2 times this quantity of x plus 4, which equals 20. You know, some of you are going to want to subtract 4, but you can't. That 4 is trapped inside this quantity. So what we're going to do to bust that 4 out is we're going to distribute this 2. We're going to multiply the 2 times the x and the 2 times the 4. And when we do that, the parentheses will be gone, and we'll be able to then go ahead and subtract and listen to Saddam and all that good kind of stuff. So when I added 2 in front of a quantity, I distributed the 2. 2 times x is 2x, 2 times 4 is 8. Now, I can subtract 8 from both sides. These 8's will cancel. I'll be left with 2x equals 12. I'll divide both sides by 2. And then x will equal 6. And there we go. All right, let's check out number 4. It looks like the same type of problem. Going to distribute, going to distribute. By the way, if I'm going too fast at any point, please have the sub or Mrs. Sopko pause the video, and then you can go ahead and get caught up. You should be doing these problems along with me in your notebook. 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times 7 is negative 21. That equals negative 20. I'm going to add 21 to both sides. And I'm going to get 6x, which equals 1. X is not alone yet. I'm going to divide by 6. Going to divide by 6. X is going to equal 1/6. And there you go. It's that simple. Notice I didn't whip out and go to any decimals on these. Fractions are cool. All right, number 5. Why don't you try number 5 on your own? Pause it. Give you a couple minutes to do that, and then when you're ready, Mrs. Sopko or the sub can unpause it and see my solution. Here comes my solution. I'm going to distribute the 7. Now, by the way, some of you are pretty sharp, and you might have noticed you might be able to do some division first. You can go ahead and do that. I don't want to introduce that right now because I'm afraid of confusing some kids. But if you think you know what I'm talking about with the division, you go ahead and try it. See if you get the same answer. If you do, you're doing it right. If not, check with me when I come back on Thursday. All right. I'm going to subtract my 14 from both sides, leaving me with negative 4x, which equals 28. And then I'll divide by negative 4. Divide by negative 4. X is going to equal negative 7. And I'm done. By the way, why did I subtract 14 here? Because that's a positive 14 there. Okay, number 6. See if you can do this one. This one combines what we've done on problems 3, 4, 5 with what we did on problems 1 and 2. Go ahead and see if you can do this. If you can, give yourself 100 points. Here comes my solution. If you're not done yet, pause the video. Okay, I'm going to distribute the 2 on the left-hand side, and I'm going to get 6x plus 12, and I'll distribute the 3 on the right-hand side, and I'm going to get 6x, which is equal to 18. I'm going to go ahead and subtract the 12 from both sides, and I'm going to get 6x equals 6x plus 6. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take away one of the x terms from both sides. Please be careful here. The right-hand side, most of you will do right. You'll cross those out and you'll say, oh, I get 6. But the left-hand side, some of you will try to tell me it's x. It is not. If I had 6 xylophones and you took away 6 xylophones, I wouldn't have 1 xylophone left. I would have 0 left. Now, this looks like a strange answer, and it is. It should bother you. When does 0 equal 6? Anybody? Dennis? Austin? Maria? When does 0 equal 6? Hopefully you're thinking 0 does not equal 6. It is never the same as 6. Never. So, we got a statement that is false. 0 does not equal 6. So we say that this problem has no solution, meaning there is no number for x that makes this statement true. 2 times the quantity of 3x plus 6 can never equal 3 times the quantity of 2x plus 6. This problem has no solution to it. All right, like I said, if you got that one, you're pretty sharp. That's a very, very challenging problem. Okay, so if you'd like to watch the video again, that's fine. If not, you can go ahead and get started on the homework. Mr. Lawrence signing off. Good night, everybody.